Everyone in the city knew who Mr. Donovan Blake was, a powerful billionaire known for his ruthless business deals, his towering glass mansion, and his empire built from the ground up. But behind all that success, he carried a pain that money couldn't erase. His wife had died 5 years ago, leaving him with their only daughter, Emma. She was 10 years old, brilliant, and beautiful, but deeply broken. Since her mother's death, she refused to speak to anyone, not her teachers, not her caretakers, not even her father. She would scream, throw things, and lock herself in her room for hours. Mr. Blake had hired the best therapists, nannies, and tutors money could buy, but none of them lasted more than a few weeks. Everyone eventually left, saying the same thing: your daughter is impossible to handle. The mansion that once echoed with laughter had turned into a silent cage of grief and anger. Then one day, a new applicant arrived, a man named Jack, dressed simply, with no fancy degrees or experience. He had once worked at a community center helping troubled children. The HR manager scoffed at him, but Mr. Blake, desperate and out of options, decided to give him a chance. When Jack first met Emma, she ignored him completely, staring out the window of her pink, lavish but lonely room. "Hi, Emma," he said softly, placing a small wooden bird he carved on her desk. "It doesn't fly yet, but maybe we can fix that together." She said nothing, just rolled her eyes. For days, she tested his patience, breaking things, screaming, throwing food. But Jack never shouted. Instead, he quietly cleaned up, smiled, and came back the next day. He told her stories about kids who learned to smile again. Slowly, Emma's anger began to fade, replaced by curiosity. One afternoon, when Jack brought another carved bird, Emma whispered for the first time, "Why do you keep coming back?" He smiled gently, "Because you're worth it." That simple answer melted a wall that years of therapy couldn't touch. Over the next weeks, Jack taught Emma to laugh again. They painted, baked cookies, and even flew kites in the garden. For the first time in years, Mr. Blake heard his daughter's laughter echoing through the halls, and it brought tears to his eyes. One night, he found Jack sitting by Emma's bedside, reading her mother's favorite story. She was asleep, smiling peacefully. "How did you do it?" the billionaire asked quietly. Jack looked up and said, "I didn't do anything special, sir. I just listened to her heart." That night, Mr. Blake sat alone in his study, realizing how disconnected he had become from his daughter, how he tried to fill her emptiness with gifts instead of love. A few months later, Jack told Mr. Blake he had to leave to take care of his sick mother in another city. When Emma found out, she cried for the first time in front of her father. "Don't let him go, Dad. He's the only one who understands me." But Jack promised to visit. Before leaving, he handed Emma the same wooden bird he gave her on the first day, now complete, with wings. "It can fly now," he said with a smile. She hugged him tightly, whispering, "You healed me." After Jack left, Emma began helping her father in his charity foundation, inspired by what Jack had done for her. Months passed, and one day, Mr. Blake surprised Jack by visiting his small home. He told him, "You didn't just save my daughter, you saved me. I was so focused on building an empire that I forgot to build love." Jack humbly replied, "Sir, love is the only empire worth building." Deeply moved, Mr. Blake offered to fund a new children's center in Jack's honor. They named it the Emma Foundation, healing hearts through love. Years later, Emma grew into a kind, compassionate young woman, often visiting the foundation to help children just like her. In every corner of that center, the little wooden bird was displayed, a symbol of hope, patience, and love that never gives up. The story of Jack and Emma became an inspiration to many, a reminder that sometimes, the richest person is not the one with the most money, but the one who gives their heart freely. So as the video fades out, the narrator says softly, "Everyone thought she was impossible. But one man saw beyond her anger and healed her with love." Remember, no one is truly broken, they're just waiting for someone who won't give up. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe for more emotional and life-changing stories that remind us, kindness still has the power to do the impossible.